Welcome everyone to the show Allowed to Talk. And today I'm going to be wearing my Cat in the Hat shirt that my daughter bought me for the cruise we never went on because of COVID. There's a lot of people who didn't do stuff because of COVID. We've had a lot of people sick from it, and people that died that had it in my family. They had other health issues though, so I'm not going to get into that. They didn't die from COVID, they died with COVID. So my leg was itching. I was out in the backyard and there's a lot of bugs, chiggers, whatever you want to call them, biting, mosquitoes. So this red stripe is the top of the Cat in the Hat. I love Carnival Cruises, and that's one of their things, the green egg and ham breakfast. I just want to talk today about a little bit about NPD, Narcissistic Personality Disorder. Now, to have that diagnosis, it's one of the personality disorders. It's in the, I forget what they say about it. It's, I can't think of the word now. My leg really itches so bad. All right, it's in something bees. Wish I had a dictionary or an encyclopedia, right? Or just the computer in this room for Googling. Look at that glow above my head. Oh, angelic. I'll move it over so it's right above my head. Wow. So, the bees, whatever that means, I forget what it is. There's A, B, and C, and it's not class B's, it's, my goodness. Anyway, there's narcissists, and they say covert and overt. And they say a narcissist can, now this is just what I've learned through watching YouTube videos and reading up on it, on Google searching and stuff. Some of the words that people use for narcissists. People who are, if they're diagnosed, or they're just very cruel, like I've heard Richard Grannon say, very cruel people. And I thought I remembered it for a second there, but I can't remember it. Cluster. Cluster A, cluster B, cluster C, cluster B. And that's all, from the DSM-V. And hopefully the 6 will include complex post-traumatic stress disorder. Some of the things they say with narcissism is covert and overt, like I was saying. And they say they can be covert or overt, depending who they're with. When they're overt, they're outright nasty, grandiose, like I'm better than everyone else. And when I'm around, what can you do for me? Or I do this for everyone, and I did this and I do that. And, we have narcissistic things we do, traits. All of us do have actions that are narcissistic. You want what you want sometimes, and you can do stuff to people, but they're terms, like back to the terms for narcissism. There's when you first meet that person, that's the only way they could cope. It's from the childhood. All this stuff is from their childhood. Just like my dog sometimes eats her own poop, and she's food aggressive because she was from a litter of 11, I think 10 or 11. And she was the only girl, and she seemed to be the quieter one. And she was aggressive to get food because all the boys, she was the only girl in the dogs in her litter. So she's aggressive with food because to get food, she had to fight for her food. So that was her puppiness, her childhood. So these people that turn out with the cluster B of NPD, Narcissistic Personality Disorder, they can be overt or covert, they say, but some are more covert all the time. They're more vulnerable, or what's the other word? They're so fragile. They're vulnerable and fragile. And they only pick certain people like me, that's empathetic, quiet. And I was, as my childhood history goes, I was taught to be seen and not heard. Never speak up. You're not allowed to say anything. You have no say because you're just a child. Children should be seen and not heard. And I didn't suffer from emotional dysregulation, like the DSM-V says. I suffered from emotional immaturity. I didn't have any emotion. I thought I could in any way. I wasn't allowed to react. And when I did, I was called names like insane and crazy, and you're not acting like you should, or you're not acting like this, you're not acting like that. Because I would just have it. I just had it. I just had it with things going on that I was told that if you're a Christian, you do this and you do that. And then I'd see family members and in-laws doing stuff that's totally not Christian. Like I'll say it, infidelity. My sister-in-laws, 2 of them, Pat and Darlene, always sleeping around, is what I'll say. If I'd say anything about it, and what my brother did, too, had a child out of wedlock with the girl, well, let's not even talk about it. Let's just say, when I'd speak up, I was shot down, told I had no say, I don't know what I'm talking about. So my emotions, I didn't have any. I was immature and wasn't taught or told how to do anything. Just be seen and not heard. So back to what I wanted to talk about, and that is terms for this narcissistic personality disorder. Covert, overt, then the covert's fragile. The other word I used earlier, fragile, and gosh, I get myself in a frenzy of worked up stuff because I show my emotions now. And I don't get all carried away, but I say, here it comes. I feel angry. I feel like I could have a fit of rage. And I say, welcome, rage. Welcome this feeling. And I don't have it because I can react logically, and vulnerable. The covert, or the vulnerable, fragile, and the overt, or the grandiose, I'm better than you. But they can be both, both of those different terms. But then they have people that side with them, family members, or people that think they're just the cat's meow, they're just everything. And those are their flying monkeys. When you first meet these people, and like I was in my early 20s, I'm 65 now, so it took me a long time. So if you're just learning about stuff like this, like you're going out on a date with a guy and the one term is love bombing. Because I thought this girl that I made friends with, because she was dating my husband's, one of his siblings, I thought she loved me more than my own sisters did. I mean, I didn't know she was love bombing me. And then if you do something that doesn't suit them or fragile, you call it narcissistic wound. A narcissistic wound, that's hard to say, then they will do stuff. After all the years, 5 years or so, I'm telling her all my childhood things and how I think everybody ends up cheating on each other, which I didn't cheat on my husband, but I thought about it already. Who didn't? We're human. We make mistakes. We do things wrong. I didn't do it, but I've thought about it. And he thought I might have because I was accusing him, but it's because she was gaslighting me. Because she got mad about something I said. I wounded her. Narcissistic wound. I'm not saying she has NPD. She was never psychologically tested or taken to a psychologist, so I can't say she is, but she's very cruel. And then when I finally, because I was taught, do not speak up. Couldn't say anything to anybody if they put me down or said stuff that looked or acted or did things a certain way. Or I still believe maybe they did have an affair. I'm telling you, I am effed up in the head. They are mind effers. That's what they do. They mind F you. Mind funk. I'll say it like that. So then the love bombing, and then when they gaslight, then sometimes they discard. That's something they do. Or then they hoover you. They try to suck you back in. Man, I've been sucked back into her life so many times for her to get off on saying she's better than me, does stuff better than me, she's this or that better than me, and she could score tests higher than me, and she didn't with the state civil service tests and things like that. But anyway, it's just, if you're new to this and you're going out with a guy and he's too good to be true, he's all wrapped up in listening to you and wanting to do what you want to do, run, because that's too good to be true. Now, if you're not sure, get to know him better, and he could just be someone who's really loving and has empathy. But I was just complete opposite of NPD. I had too much empathy. I was taught to be seen and not heard. I'm not loved if I don't clean up or do the dishes. To this very day, and I don't care if my sisters are listening because they don't comment, but they might be listening. The one especially, I think she does, but it doesn't matter. It matters, but I don't let it upset me, because to this very day, if I don't have my dishes done every day, I don't feel good about myself. The truth is, if my husband doesn't like that the dishes are done, he knows how to do dishes. He knows how to load the dishwasher. He can do it himself. And if they're sitting around gossiping, anybody in my family or friends who know me and know what I've been through and don't believe that I was narcissistically abused by someone, I shouldn't give a flying cow patty about what they think or say. And that's where I'm at in my life. I'm going to love myself, not in a sick kind of narcissistic way, like Narcissus, the story, Narcissus, or whatever his name was, who couldn't stop looking at himself in his reflection, or whatever the story is. Healthy way that if you have compassion for someone else, you can have compassion for yourself too. And then, like I said, the flying monkeys, she loves to, they do, if they even aren't diagnosed, have people that side with them no matter what. Flying monkeys. And then there's people who are her, people that believe her. They are, I forget the word, but anyway, you know what I'm trying to say. They are people she uses. We're like, in a chess game, we're like pawns. They're her pawns. She uses them, and they aid her in doing what she loves to do to feel good about herself. And I can do a lot of bad things. I'm capable of doing as much sin as anyone else. But I was taught to be seen and not heard. And like, you're effed up, a lot of us are from our childhoods. There's no doubt about it. So what's some other terms from it? Let me think. They're her pawns. They enable her. They're her enablers. And I guess that's about it. That the Hoover, they discard and then Hoover you back in. But people don't believe this, so it's always someone else's fault. Oh yeah, they project. That's another thing. There's so many in the government right now, politicians. They make no mistakes. It's always someone else. Turn it around and blame someone else. That's what they do. So I'm going to close this for now. We're going to say goodbye because it's getting long. And my next video, I'm going to read some of the latest book that I wrote. And I'm done writing books. I wrote them not to earn money. If I would make some money from it, that'd be great. But I did them mostly because I was trying to speak the truth. And a lot of people don't believe the truth. So I just wanted to get the truth out there. So I'm going to close the show for now. And I hope you're having a wonderful day.